this class is about positioning, awareness and activation. When we are in postures, when they become difficult, a lot of the time people switch off in areas that they are supposed to be activated, and the awareness goes from actually staying in the posture to just surviving. Now, that's not what yoga should be. We should be able to move away from our ego. If we need to take a rest, we take a rest, and we can't overcome these thoughts that are going on in our head. But what we can do is we can strive to become better. And if we start to understand the body more, and we understand the connection that using this power of will to keep your mind on the posture itself and checking into all of these different areas of the body, not only do you become better and more rounded through your movements, but you start to find these gaps in the armour of the ego. And as soon as you can start to find these gaps in the armour of the ego, it doesn't just start to blossom in terms of yoga and the art of movement, it also starts to move into different areas of your life. This is a really nice class to try and reconnect to your body. You listen into all of the coaching points that I give you to allow you to really refine the movements that we sometimes call common postures or easy postures. But if you use activation in the right way and you keep your awareness there, they turn into a lot more. Let's do this. I'm going to start this class towards the front of the mat. So take a step back from the front of the mat, both feet down. I want you to become aware of where the centre of gravity is on your feet. Is it further towards the front? Is it further towards the rear? Is it in between the two? Now when we're thinking of centre of gravity, we don't want to have our centre of gravity too far forwards, because this puts a lot of pressure on our lower back, and also it stops us from activating the glutes as much. If you're pushing through your heels, and this is the same through a lot of postures in yoga, if you're pushing through the heels, you tend to use your glutes a lot more, and it's the biggest muscle in the body. It's the centre of core stability as well at the same time. So pick up all your toes there, place them down. I want you to bring your hands down by your sides for this first part, close the eyes, and I want you to shift your weight forwards until you feel the heels just start to levitate a little bit. If you feel like you're going to fall over, open your eyes and then come back down. Bring the heels back down and then start to go back towards the heels. Keep squeezing through the pelvis, otherwise you'll feel your balance start to go. Go light through the toes, light through the midfoot. Maybe a little bit of a hover there, and then back towards the centre. Come back over towards the left foot, right to the outer edge, all the way to the centre again, over to the right hand side, outer edge of the right foot, in towards the central point again. Just having a little bit of a play around with the balance here, starting to take one of the senses away to challenge yourself. Open your eyes. What I want you to try and do here is squeezing and drawing underneath with the pelvis. Draw underneath, create this activation through the mid of the body. And you can start to try and hover the toes off the floor. And try and find this balance on your heels. Feel like you're going to fall over, then and just step back. Right, but that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to stay in this position, which is really hard to do. You give that a go yourself. Keep up, keep on the heels, and then come back up towards that same point. One more time. Come back. We're not using all these little muscles in our feet, so it becomes a lot harder. And you have to use the core and the proprioception of the different core muscles to keep you in that position as well. Alright, back up towards the top. Moving towards the hips now, another very important place, especially in a single leg standing position. I'm going to turn this way so you get a little bit of a better view. I'm going to stand on my right leg to start with. My left leg's going to come towards the front. I'm going to squeeze through the glutes on this right leg. Turn the toes up on the front foot, and I have my thigh parallel to the floor. as you can see here, parallel, like that. So make sure the foot's in the right place. Bring your hands together, draw the shoulders down, keep squeezing through this glute muscle. This is when you're starting to get tired, you probably feel like your hip wants to hitch out to the side, so you're always trying to stabilize through this outer hip in a strong position, because if we come here, even when we're walking, running, etc., single leg standing position, and we're trying to step back into another posture, if we lose it at the hip, our whole stability goes and the power's lost, or the strength's lost in a different direction. Now, when you start to rotate in and out, internally and externally rotating the femur, moving in and out, probably feeling this already on that standing leg. If you need to rest, like I said, move away from the ego, have a break and then slowly set yourself up again. Make sure your gaze is on a fixed point, and you're going to come round the back. I'm going to bring my hand down, just level with my thigh, and try and kick round with my heel and back up towards the top. So we're creating this movement, both hands come up, back down. Hand moves at the same time as the foot. Kick round, back up towards the top. Hold through that foot, back up, all the way around. Back up towards the top. Turn it in and out a couple of times. Nearly there with this exercise. And then bring the foot down. Yeah, pretty tasty through that standing side. But these are endurance muscles, so they need to be worked in endurance capacity. A little bit different to using the big prime movers that we have within our body for these big functional movements. These are stabilizing muscles. Alright, opposite leg. Standing ground down. Start to move the leg in and out. In fact, let's just hold there a little bit longer because we did on the other side. And what I want you to think about here is pushing the hands together and drawing the belly button in. So I'll just keep bringing back to you these different activation points. Belly button in, squeeze through the left bum cheek. Maybe a little bit of a claw under the feet, but not too much. Keep the thigh parallel to the floor, working through these hip flexors as well. And this leg or the hip that's flexed here. On that right hand side, draw down, keep pulling the belly button in, don't forget, and start to rotate the leg in and out. That's it, go to inside to outside. Whichever side feels harder, then probably this is the place that you want to try and, this is the side that you want to try and work a little bit more on. Come back towards the central point, and then come round the side. Try and touch again and back. Don't let the hip hitch out. Up towards the top, all the way. Up and round. We're going to be starting to go with a little bit of movement on the next few exercises. And we'll be using the static strength that we've built here, or the static awareness that we've built. Back round again. And bringing it into this movement. So you start to understand where the hip should be in regards to space and what its role is through movement. Push the hands together, keep that knee up, turn in and out just a few times, for 2, for 3, for 4, and then bring the foot down. That's it, give the legs a little bit of a shake out. We are now going to go into that single leg movement, but before that, what I want you to do is interlink the fingers and push up towards the sky. I'm going to come into this palm tree pose. Squeeze and tuck, use the same fundamentals that we worked from before. Ankles together, and then lift up the heels. Push up towards the sky with the hands. Palms are facing upwards, so I'm in this position. You might not be able to see my hands on the video there. I'm squeezing up, pushing up towards the sky, and then come onto my toes. You make it a little bit more difficult for yourself. Draw in through belly. Shoulders are pushing upwards into the sky. It's one of the times where I'll be telling you to do that rather than drawing the shoulders down, and then slowly bring your gaze up towards your hands. Feel the balance and the activation through the body. It's just trying to get used to, or trying to start to understand the body and keep its proprioception really reactive. That just gives us this more refinement of movement, because the neurology's got these pathways clear, refined. Slowly come down with the heels, bring down the gaze, hands come back towards heart centre from there. Now, let's bring it into some movement. Maybe do this on some of my classes where we step back. So some of the movements where we step through, sometimes it's quick, but we're going to look for this control of movement, which when we build this strength slowly, we start to build the strength. It crosses over onto when we do quick movements, so we have more refined focus and attention, and we have strength through the whole of the movement. Go really light, go slight bend in the standing leg, tilt the hips forwards, keep pushing them with the hands. That's it, hinging through. Point the toes on that back leg, squeeze through the bum, and then lower down. So a little bit of a bend through that front knee to bring myself into that position. I'm going to come into Warrior 2 here, but I'm just going to build up from the ground upwards. So what I want you to think about here is back foot. A lot of the time people come to the inside of the foot here and they sort of get lazy through this back leg. So push the back outer edge onto the floor, squeeze through this thigh, open it out, and then drop through this front knee. And what I want you to think about activation here is pulling both feet together for 10 seconds at about 9% contraction. So pull in like a pair of scissors, both feet towards each other for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, through the heels, 5, keep that back leg straight, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, feel that activation there. Come down a little bit lower. Start to push this knee outwards. Make sure this knee's out. And I'm just going to get used to this position by pushing the knee in and out. So let's go 1, feel the difference, in and out, 2, in and out, 3, in and out, 4, in and out, 5, in and out, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. There we are. We stay down this position, we keep this back thigh activated, and then we come up with both hands. This is where maybe you're starting to get tired here. So if you need to straighten that front leg and relax off, then feel free to do that. But if you feel strong, stay here. Keep pulling the feet together. Think of these activation points. Pull up through pelvic floor, drawing the belly button to the spine. Push that right knee outwards. Hold up with the hands here. And think about that bottom half staying where it is. This foundation. Come up with the shoulders and back down. Lower. Up. Down for 2. Up. Down for 3. Up. Down for 4. Up. Down for 5. Up. Down for 6. Up. Down for 7. Don't switch off from the bottom. 8. 9. Keep pulling in with the feet. 10. Spread those fingers apart. Drawing down with the shoulders. From there, reach out. We need to find this middle point. Too far backwards, too far forwards. We're in the middle here. So come forwards. 1, back, forwards, 2, back, forwards, 3, back, forwards, 4, back, 5, 6, 7, 8, keep a switch on at the bottom of the legs, 1. Alright, from there, find that middle point. This is where we should be. Big kick up towards the top. Whew, that front thigh is working there, working hard. Reset this position. Like I've shown you here. Think of all these muscles that are being worked during that exercise. And by staying in it a little bit longer, it just shows you, well, through a little bit of discomfort in terms of the muscle burning, but also feeling the activation to a more of a, like you're moving towards 90 to 100% of the contraction in those positions. So really finding this contraction, this activation, holding it there or pulsing in and out of it. And this just reminds you, this will be ingrained into your body now when you go into these movements. Alright, drawing in with the belly button, single leg standing position, bring up the opposite leg, activate through the toes on that front foot, tiny bend through the standing leg, start to hinge backwards, point through the toe and sink that foot through. Now again, we find ourselves, hopefully your front and back heel are in line with each other. Bend through the front knee. Find your position there. With Warrior 2, obviously you're opening out. Warrior 1, you're squaring off to the front. Warrior 2, stay strong here. Pull the feet together, again 90% activation. Back edge of the rear foot is pressed down to the floor for 10, 9, 8, squeeze in, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, good stuff. Keep pulling up through the pelvic floor, and we're going in and out with this front knee. Very common mistake, in and out for 1. Feel the activation on these external rotators. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you can even take your hand there and feel it. 8, start to understand the body. 9, 10, drop through, open up with the hands. Okay, level on, draw up with the shoulders and down for 1, up, 2, up, 3, feel underneath the armpits activate. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, reaching out and back for 1, for 2, for 3, step behind the thoughts, 4, keep your activation at the bottom half as well, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, come to the midpoint, balance, and push up towards the top. Just relax there. Going to finish off with a little bit of the tree pose. So come to the front of the mat. Again, I'm going to show you in this position. We'll start on the right leg for this. So hands onto your hips to start with. And just find your balance there. When you come up onto your toes, just raise our centre of gravity, and also gets us used to activating the right parts of our body. If we think about a little bit of a proprioception through the toes, you can feel them switching on and off. Also squeezing through the pelvis here, drawing in the belly button. Now come down with the heels, ground in through that right foot. Pick up the toes and spread them apart. And you can either go from hands to hips and bring that foot to the inside, or you can go to here. Let's go from here. Drawing down the shoulders, push the hands together, create the stability. Keep the right hand there, go light on the toes on the side that you're going to lift up the legs, so left hand side here. Lift it up, come down with the left hand, pull it all the way up into the groin, as far as you can. Plant the leg to the inside of the groin. Depends on how slippery your trousers are, mine are pretty slippery there. Bring both hands together and hold here. Push that outer knee outwards. Squeeze and tuck through the pelvis. That's it, and hold there for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Hands in the sky for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands down. That's it. Good stuff. It's tough. Last one. Onto the opposite leg. Stand and ground in through that left hand side. Go light on the toes here. Lift up that knee. Then reach down. Grab it, place it to the inside of the thigh. You can go as high as you want to there. And hold in that position. Push the palms together. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, squeeze through that standing glute. It's probably getting, I'm getting a little bit unbalanced there. Above the head, makes it a little bit harder. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back down towards the center of the chest. So hopefully you've found that really beneficial, thinking about the awareness, thinking about activation, doing it in static positions, but also through movement as well.